previous video, we have seen the various parts of the code. We had seen the play method and the various other sub methods it is using. So let us just have a very quick recap of it. We had collected the list of movies from IMDb site. We had inputted the two players' name, and we had started off with 0 points each. We had different variables like turn, willing, as the name suggests. It makes sure that the turn is alternated and the game goes when both are willing to play. Even if one person is not willing to play, the game comes to an end. And to alternate the turns, we are making use of this mod operator. And during each turn of the person, you need to randomly pick a movie and create a question. So how create question works here, if you could see, create question, what it does is it splits into the individual characters. It sees if the individual letters, it sees if the letter is a space, you just keep it as a space. If it is some other letter other than space, you encode it as star. So this is how question has been created. And once question has been created, question is displayed to him, and the player is asked to guess a character, guess a letter that is present in the movie name. So he has to guess the letter. So once he has given a letter, you first check if that letter is present in the movie name or not. So to check if it is present in the movie name, we are making use of a built-in functionality count that will say how many times this particular letter has occurred in that particular word. So movie is our word. In that movie, how many times this letter has occurred. If it has not at all occurred, it will return 0. Otherwise, it will return a non-zero positive value. So if it is returning a 0, you say it is false. That is, it is not present. Is present while our claim is false. Otherwise, it is true. So that's how we are returning the false and true values correspondingly. And if it is not present, you say that this letter is not found. If it is present, you have to unlock the letters. So for unlocking, what do? You do something very similar to that what we have done in create question. We open the string into list of letters. You open the string into list of characters, and based on each character, if it is a space or that actual letter which he has wanted to unlock, you append that letter into the output string. Otherwise, if it is not unlocked yet, and it is not that letter as well, then you have to append star, else you have to append the letter that has been unlocked till now. And this is how we have created the output list. Now we merge the individual characters of output list into a single string and return that single string. So this is how unlocking has been done. Once unlocking has been done, you print the unlocked version, and based on that, the user can take two decisions. Either he can guess the name of the movie, or he can unlock another character. If he wants to unlock another character, the same process is repeated. If he wants to guess the movie name, you ask him to answer. You check if it is correct. If it is correct, say that he has said the correct answer and increase his points by 1 and show him his points. And once he has said the correct answer, this particular thing of asking for a character, unlocking, guessing, all this comes to an end. So this is how the movie goes. This is how the game goes. And once he has said the answer, what should you do is you should ask him if he wants to continue the game or not. If he wants to continue, let him play. That is then the value of if you say if he wants to continue, then the value of turn is increased by 1 in order to facilitate the next player play the game. In case he wants to quit, then the game totally comes to an end. Before ending the game, you show the status, greet them well, and then you end the game. This is how the play goes. Okay, before starting with the running of the code, I would like to just say something here. If you would see, I have typecasted it with int. These are all some machine dependencies, maybe some operating system dependencies. In some cases, it may happen that you need to typecast it, or in some systems, in Linux based systems I have used, you need to use a function raw input for string and input for the other data types. These are all just some few dependencies. You can always look it up as to what is the problem online, and you can fix it. These were some dependencies on Mac OS, so I had rectified them. This is very trivial, just I'm typecasting it into int. If some of you have already been familiar with Java or you have heard of Java, even Java works like this. It takes all inputs by default as string, so we need to convert it into the type whatever we need. Here we know that the input is either 1, 2, something like this, a number, so that's why I'm typecasting it as an int. So this is just a few dependencies. So for Mac, this is one of the dependencies for Mac OS. For Linux OS, one dependency I observed was it takes two functions, raw input and input. So you can look it up, depends on, maybe for Windows there may be some dependencies. You can always look it up in case if something doesn't work. You can always look it up. You can see as to what is the solution. You have a lot of solutions available online on Stack Overflow, and there are many such sites where people generally post their problems, and there are many who help with solutions to all this. Is purely managed by people. It's amazing. You get good responses there, and you if you know some answers, if you contribute, that is a different feeling. It's a different kind of proud feeling you would get. I would recommend that you guys be a part of such community where you can interact with your fellow programmers and you can gain more knowledge. As you would generally would have heard, peer knowledge is something that is uncomparable to other types of knowledge. Even in your college study time, college or school, even you could have remembered, you would have done a group study. Those memories are something, those things are something that has no match for it. So it's always the case that peer learning has a very good advantages associated with it. So the one such peer learning thing for programming is this thing, Stack Overflow, such online platforms. You can always look up to it. Maybe you can try reading through the solutions already present. You can gain more knowledge, and you can also contribute if you know something. There is a website for almost everything. For those who are not from computer science background as well, Stack Exchange has got a lot of websites. You can see to it. Maybe you would have seen through it already. If not, also please be a part of such community, so where you actively discuss about the current happenings of your field and you stay updated with it. So this is I'm just telling this so that you guys can be a part of this amazing community where you stay updated with the hot happenings of your field. That's it. So this thing I had just looked up and I had included it, nothing more. Now let's run the program. Okay, layer 1, please enter your name. Okay, let me enter, maybe let me say ABC. Layer 2, please enter your name, let me say XYZ. Okay, some characters are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 characters without any spaces. So I'm not able to guess what is the movie. So let me play smartly. It is generally a practice that you usually unlock vowels. So you try with all vowels, then why? This is generally a practice, because in almost any movie name you see, you would have these letters occurrences almost all the time. So this is general practice. So I'll start with A. So A is present only once, so this is unlocked. Okay, and maybe I want to unlock another character. I would unlock E. E is not found. Okay, let me unlock I. Yeah, I is found. Let me unlock another character. O is not found. U not found. Y found. Yeah, I guess now I know the movie name. Let me guess it. Drishyam. Correct. ABC, your score is 1, it says. And do I want to continue or quit? Let me continue. Alright, oh, this is the problem. We had to make a small rectification, then everything will work good. Let us do it very quickly. See, I have not changed the name here. It's P2, it's player 2's turn. I had copy pasted and we had missed changing the name, so let us do it very quickly. So this is how it happens actually. You run and by then something unexpected comes, then you come to know that, oh, I skipped it, and this is how programming happens. So in case you're making mistakes, please never get disheartened. All this is a learning process. Failures are the stepping stones for success, they say. It's very much true in case of programming. Through lot of mistakes only, you come to know whatever is the correct way. P2 I have to change here, and yeah, somewhere else here I need to change same line. So okay, anywhere else do I have to change? Do I have to change anywhere else? No, I guess. Yeah, fine. Alright, let me save. Let me open a new console. Better let me open a new console, a fresh console, and let me run it. Run. Okay. Day 1, enter your name ABC. Day 2, XYZ. Your turn. Some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 characters. Let me guess A. I'm lucky that probably I'm getting the same movie. Let me unlock another. I get I. Yeah, I got the same movie. Let me guess now. It's yeah. Correct. So let me continue. XYZ, your turn. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All this is probable actually because we are randomly picking a movie. That's it. So it may be the case that both the players get the same thing. This is highly lesser a probability, but if you want to make it still the least, you want to decrease the probability that both people get the same movie name, you increase the number of movies in the list. That is what, because here we have just 10 movies basically, because we were not interested in scrolling through the IMDb list. Our aim here is to learn the programming part and not to watch movies. So I just had picked some 10 movies from IMDb. Maybe if you would pick more movies, there were 250 movies that were displayed there. If you would pick some 100 movies, 200 movies, this probability that both people get the same thing is very rare. So maybe I'm able to guess it here. I hope next time I'll get some other movie. Yeah, I'm getting some other movie. So let me say with my letter A. These are the things. So let me unlock another letter. E. Yeah, now I guess now I'm able to guess the movie. See, with vowels, you are able to guess the movie very quickly. Aare Zameen. So wantedly, let me say without spaces. I want to check if it works fine. Wrong answer. See, it is not accepting. The movie name contains spaces, so you have to give spaces. It doesn't accept the other way. Perfect. So I have to say again some letter. So let me say R. Given that I know that this is the movie name, I say R. Okay. So it is unlocked. So I have to guess the movie name this time properly with spaces. I'll give her. Okay. Yeah. ABC, your score is 2, and I want to continue. XYZ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, this XYZ must be a very lucky person. He's getting the same thing. This occurs because we have very less number of movies. If you increase the number of movies in the list, you will get a better choices every time. Yeah, fine. Continue. Again, I'm getting the same. Wow. Okay. Oh, it's some different movie. All right. See, I was seeing the same movie again and again, and I was thinking it is picking the same movie again. No, it is some different movie. So I don't know the answer. What would I do? Okay, let me give my same answer. It will anyway say it's the wrong answer. Let's see. Yeah, I have to try again with some other letter. Okay, A, E, I, O, U, Y. Alright, now I know the movie. Now let me write. Now I have come. That is a movie name. Sorry, I should say that I want to guess the movie. Then I will. So, okay, I'll write. Now I have come. Perfect. Now I want to quit. Let me press 0. See, I am greeted. ABC, your score is this. XYZ, your score is this. And I am greeted. Alright, so this is how the program output had appeared, and this is how the game was played. You would have seen that. And during the run of the game, one thing you would have noticed is sometimes one movie got repeated often. Some movies may get repeated often. This is usually a case even when we play manually, right? See, assume that you are playing the same game for some 1 hour, 2 hours, something like that. Then sometimes it may happen that you forget that you had already said that movie name, you had already asked that as a question, and you may pose the same question again. It happens. The same thing happens with the computer as well. Computer, how does it does? It has a list of movies. It picks a movie name randomly. It's purely a probability. So we can never guarantee that you will never get a repetition. That is, in case, for example, say the movie Dangal. If it has been picked, I can never give you a guarantee that again Dangal will never be picked. So that we can never guarantee in this randomly picking method, because for this repetition to occur, the probability associated, the math behind it, the probability is non-zero probability. It is not a zero probability. There is some minimal probability with which this repetition can occur. It is evidently visible because we have only 10 movies in our list. In case if you increase the number of movies, if you have some 100 movies in the list, this probability of repetition is very, very less, and it is not very evident that there is a repetition, but there will be repetition. The probability of it is non-zero, so that there may be repetitions may occur there. You can never guarantee that repetitions would never occur. So maybe for that you can think of some strategies. Can you think of some other way other than randomly picking from a list? Can you pick the movies such that repetitions will never occur? Can you pick the movies from the list in some other method? You can brainstorm with lot of various other methods as well as to implement this. This is not the only way. There are many ways by which you can implement the same thing. You can come up with the variants in the implementation we have done. You can probably make this particular thing. We had copy pasted for player 1 and player 2, right? You can make this particular thing as a sub function, and you can just make it as a single function call instead of making these many lines. So that is your you making this as a single function and reusing the same function when needed. You can do that. That is one of the improvisation you can do with this implementation, and as well as a lot can be done. This is not the one standard way. There are many ways. Also, for the game, there are many standard variants. Maybe you can have some constraints like maximum 10 guesses is allowed. More than that, you cannot allow the person to guess. Something like that. You can have constraints, and maybe you can vary the points based on in which guess he gets it right. You can vary the point scheme. You can do anything. For imagination, sky is the limit. You can do a lot of variants. You can go on and on. You can come up with many different implementations. You can even create some brand new game with this as well, with the different variants set up, as I had said, with different incentive schemes, with different points. You can have any type of game you can create with this. So I would recommend that you guys do give some thoughts over it, come up with your own variants, do discuss that in the discussion forum. And as I had said in this video itself, peer learning is something that is that has no match. So I would recommend that you guys please do discuss in the discussion forum, foster peer learning, and you also enrich your knowledge as well. So thanks for watching the video till now. Please do take part in the discussion forum. Please discuss your variants, your different strategies of implementation, or any idea regarding this you have got. You can please do discuss that in the discussion forum. Thanks for watching till now. Have a nice day.